Shalom Yasha'Allah. First and foremost, we get all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. The honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, over will, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that's pushing the great gospel in sincerity and truth. That's your brother Tazakai Yahweh, coming at you another lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Lord will be edifying. Got an article here from livescience.com, and it reads 2,000 earthquakes in one day off Canada coast suggests the ocean floor is ripping apart, scientists say. And this came out March 21st, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And it reads, record earthquake activity off the coast of Vancouver Island hints at the birth of new oceanic crust. It says almost 2,000 earthquakes rocked the spot off the coast of Canada in a single day earlier this month, which could be a sign that new oceanic crust is about to be birthed via a deep sea magmatic rupture. The quakes aren't any threat to people. They're relatively small and centered on a spot called the Endeavour Site, about 150 miles off the coast of Vancouver Island. This spot hosts a number of hydrothermal vents and sits on the Juan de Fuca Ridge, where the ocean floor is spreading apart. This area is separate from the subduction zone, a region where one tectonic plate is sinking into the mantle underneath another plate closest to the coast that can create large, destructive earthquakes, says Zoe Cross, a doctoral candidate in marine geophysics in the University of Washington. Mid-ocean ridges aren't actually capable of producing that large of earthquakes, not too far above a magnitude 5, Cross told Live Science. This is not going to trigger the big one on the subduction zone, because they always talk about that big one that's supposed to happen over there in Canada. Well, not so like not Canada, but they say they're supposed to knock off California, from off the rest of the United States, as they say, But yeah, that's that big one that they're talking about. I think that's it. I think off the San Andreas fault line maybe, or somewhere around that. I think that's what it is. But nonetheless, he got more things to worry about than something like that as far as when destruction comes to this place. But going on, it says the quakes are interesting scientifically because they can reveal details about how the ocean floor pulls apart and new crust forms, Cross said. At the Endeavour Site, the Pacific Plate and the Juan de Fuca Plate are pulling apart. This stretching creates long linear fault lines and thins the crust, enabling magma to rise up. When the magma reaches the surface, it cools and hardens, becoming the new ocean crust. The Endeavour Site is monitored continuously as a part of the North End Pacific Time Series undersea network experiments run by Ocean Networks Canada. Since 2018, the region has been more seismically active, Cross said on March 6th, which, that makes sense because, the Lord is ultimately turning things up within the earth. As I always say, there's more, activity with volcanoes, more activity with more hurricanes, more earthquakes, more tornadoes, or what they call weather phenomenons, water sprouts, typhoons, monsoons. Whatever the case may be, the Lord is turning up because why? He like I said, ultimately that's him visiting this place, but that's us drawing nigh and nigh and nigh to the end. So everything, the Lord, through the Spirit, the Lord gonna turn everything up, right? On March 6th, however, the activity went wild with at least 200 small earthquakes shaking the seafloor per hour. In all, the researchers detected about 1,850 quakes in a single day. The vast majority are less than magnitude 1. They're these little pops, Cross said, but it's pretty cool because it allows us to track where things are happening, where things are breaking, and where things are moving around. Cross said that the most likely reason for the quakes is that the seafloor is stretched to its maximum extent and has built up a great deal of stress. At the Endeavour Site, this happens when the plates pull apart by about 3.3 feet, she said, and the stress is ultimately relieved when magma rises up into the thin crust and cools. This happens on an approximately 20-year cycle, she said, which puts the area right on schedule. The last time it was seismically shaky was in 2005. So it says since March, the earthquake activity has calmed down, though at a slightly heightened background level. Cross says she and her colleagues are now watching closely. The continuous monitoring of the Endeavour Site began in 2011, so the team hasn't had access to the near real-time data of a magma intrusion like this before. There have many questions ranging from the impact of the hydrothermal vent system to the source for the magma that will ultimately form the new crust. A lot of it is fundamental science questions of how does the Earth crust form, why do these events start, where they start, and what exactly is the trigger that brings magma in. Cross said for now she and her team are waiting to see what happens next. And then it say I seen something where remember that back in Japan, but see look nearly 75% of the U.S. is at risk from damaging earthquakes. And as a matter of fact, let's jump to that really quick. Slovakia. That was Slovakia. Okay, I was just showing. It was just came out. A new ultra detailed map shows that 75% of the U.S. states are at risk of damage of earthquakes, but some are far more risk than others. So this came out January 18th, and we just want to check out the map. We pretty much got the lesson on the earthquake. So in that deep red over there, of course, in the West Coast, it says a chance of slight or greater damaging earthquake shaking in 100 years. So look at Alaska, all the way down there, like through the Aleutian Islands, stuff like that. Then you got, you're right there, on the West Coast primarily. Then over there, like, Yellowstone right there where Montana and what's that, Idaho, what's that right there? I think it may be Wyoming. But then just looking over here now, if you look in the Midwest, right, that right there is the New Madrid fault line. And that's where it's going to be a point of interest when the eclipse come on April 8th, and they said, it could possibly trigger a earthquake, or whatever the case may be, we have yet to see, hey, Lord willing do. And then you see Hawaii as well at the bottom, so just, looking at that little graph they got. At the end of the day, like we said, we know that, hey, how about Shai is going to, hey, man, he's just going to turn up, So, get to the scriptures, because this is this is part of what? The Lord's visitations. Right, this is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. It says, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. Right, so these storms and these weather phenomena, these earthquakes and stuff like that, these are visitations from Yahweh Shai. And trust and believe, these don't be visitations that people welcome. Right, when everybody think about the Lord, it's all good, it's all kind, it's all happiness and joy. But don't get me wrong, that is a factor, like I said, that's a factor of the Lord. But at the same time, he's about balance. So he also brings bad times, evils, limitations and woes, right? Killings, death, right? So he's all about perfect balance, right? Because he said, he formed the light and create darkness, see? So, hey, when these things, when destruction hit the earth, when devastation hit the earth, hey, that's Yahweh Shai trying to visit this place, I'm going Slovakia. Even right here, 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I'm gonna start at the top. It say, He answered me then and said, Measure down the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I had told thee before, so we measure the times by what? We watch what's happening in the real time, and we tying it back to the scriptures. Because what the scriptures is that measuring, that measure, so to speak. That's how we measure things up. Everything got to get tied to the scriptures, which is what? The Lord's word. So we don't tie everything, like I said, pretty much like at the end of the day, everything's on the Lord's time. This is timetable. This is what he set up. And yeah, we don't know the exact day or hour or minute, but what? He gave us signs to watch, which is what? The prophecies, which I had told you before. Then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time where in the highest we begin to visit the world which he made. What he said to begin to visit the world which he made was part of his visitations. Therefore, when thou shalt see what? Earthquakes and upwards of the people. See, the earthquakes is part of the Lord's visitations, right? Then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So from the beginning, these earthquakes are supposed to intensify. These storms are supposed to intensify. The prophecies in itself, they were all supposed to intensify on the timing of Yahweh Shai, right? And I'm ending right here, because like I said, just a little hit on, hey man, 2,000 earthquakes in 24 hours, man, wow. And then I remember not too long ago, I believe in Iceland, Then they had like 1,000 of them in 24 hours, something like that. And they had a volcano watch or warning, something like that. So, hey, even though these 2,000 quakes, they say they small within the ocean, that don't mean that that can't happen or they can't trigger nothing that happened on the coast. You know, hey, tremors, shockwaves, whatever the case may be. You know, that can, hey, that's just showing you what the Lord can do. I could put it right here. I could put them right here. I could put them right there. At the end of the day, man, if you if you're not the elect, when the time period comes, if they hit somewhere near you, hey, then you're gonna be allotted for destruction. Hey, asking people last year in Turkey, what killed like thousands of people, right? And those and then one 2,000 quakes that hit that killed 10 to 20,000 people. It was just really like what 2, 3, maybe 5, if anything. And look at the devastation that brought to the world. So hey, man, don't play with your how about you never shot. But this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." Right, that's why we have war on our horizon. Nations side with other nations. Nations doing deals with other nations. Alliances being built. You know, alliances breaking apart. You know, new partners, new this and that. Right, they against each other because why? That third world's war is brewing up. Right, and there shall be famines. Right, lack of food, lack of water, just a lack of any necessity that you may need, and pestilences. You know, sicknesses, disease, what have you. And what? Earthquakes in diverse places. All these are what? The beginning of sorrows, or what? The beginning of these bad times that Yahweh Shemashai is going to put upon this place. And now, before we go, let's take a little look at diverse places that have been hit. So this is I think it's a military time, 1426. Oh, so what, let's say 35 minutes ago. And we're just going to get a few of them. This is, that was in China. Next was in Mexico. The Northern Molucca Sea, that's Indonesia. See the North American, you know, the ridge, North Middle Atlantic Ridge. Another one Mexico, I think that's I want to say Ecuador or Honduras. This one's in Kermadec Islands. I think that's somewhere around Russia. Then the Taiwan region, Java Sea, Bismarck Sea. So, you know, what's that? Greece, Southern Greece, Vanuatu Islands. So hey, you know, they happen and like these are all within the same hour and they time frames. So hey, this is those earthquakes in diverse places. You know, as the scriptures speak about. You know. And like again, you know, like I said, 22,000 earthquakes in 24 hours, man. Hey, that's crazy. But even after like the first day, you know, of this so-called New Year, it was hundreds of earthquakes in one day and so forth and so on. So like, yeah, the Lord's turning up. Right, you're gonna turn everything up through the spirit in the world, and hey, that's gonna draw us nigh closer to the end, to our salvation. Lord will be of the elect. So, Lord, when this lesson was edifying, sincere brothers and sisters out there listening, and give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, the balance of our apostles, and elders, a great millstone, Ruel, the peace and blessings of the whole full elect. Shalom.